Okay, so I've been using Windows 11 for quite a few time, the dev build, and I'm gonna share the experience with you in this video. So basically, I tried out Windows 10 a few days ago, and I would tell that it's okay. I have pretty disadvantages there, and some are advantages, and I'm gonna discuss them in the video. So the first advantage that I got here was performance. But let's talk about it later. Let's just come to the installation part first. So I downloaded the dev build from the ISO, for which you have to be a Microsoft insider, and I applied for it, and yeah, so it was easy. But the ISO file was one of the largest I've seen. It was 5.4 GB. It was huge, and that was it. But into the system, and then saw the installation. Well, the first review of the installation is pretty much the same as the Windows 10 one, but after that, when you reboot it for the first time, you will see some significant changes. First of all, they removed the whole blue irritating color, and changed it with black, which is a lot cleaner to eyes, and that's good. And then they have a clean UI finish. They have a pretty much good UI for the setting up and all, because in Windows 10 it was like aliening. It was like completely blue. The whole thing was blue, and that was pretty annoying. And it had even your Cortana from the first. Okay, and the installation was kind of buggy in my low system hardware, and it took a bunch of time, but it's okay for me, I guess. And then I booted into it, and I rebooted, and one thing I saw that it was booting thrice faster than Windows 10, and that was pretty impressive, because and unexpected, because I hadn't expected to Windows 11 to be lighter than Windows 10, but at least I realized that it was pretty much lighter. It was about 1 GB lighter than Windows 10, because Windows 10 took about 2.8 GB on idle, and Windows 11 takes about 1.8, which is pretty nice improvement. And even the boot speed, as I said, improved. The login screen UI also improved. The UI basically changed, and the apps were snappier. But again, not everything is perfect out there. The apps were opening pretty fast, but yeah, later on I realized that the in-app functionality was not really good, and we will come to that point. Another thing that was annoying out there, well, it was the missing app settings. Well, when I launched into the desktop, I saw a thick taskbar, which was about taking about 1/6 of my desktop, and that was pretty annoying, because I didn't want this much for a taskbar. And so I decided to just go to taskbar settings and change the sizes, and I was surprised that I saw half of the customization features were just ripped off. You can't resize the taskbar. You can't place the taskbar here and there, though they may be fixed and added in the stable builds, but still it's in the dev build, and it's only 1 month left, so it shan't be like this. But yeah, and it was pretty irritating, because half of the features were gone. Like the settings app, you will find hundreds of more settings and customizability options in Windows 10 than in Windows 11. And that was the one disappointment that I faced. And it was pretty bad. Like searched the internet and found a way that to just edit registry and do it, but that messed up more. That just made the icons look worse. And the new icon pack is pretty cool. The new file manager is pretty cool. These are pretty cool, and the inbuilt Windows terminal, well, it is also pretty cool. um, and I hate that PowerShell thing that they gave. It was completely blue. I don't know why Windows 10 had this affection with blue. and Windows 11 just fixed it all, because it was completely in Windows 10 it was completely blue, the blue interface, the irritating interface. It was a disaster, to be honest. But as I said, the performance increased. Well, that doesn't make it completely functional, because it was opening apps quite fast, the launching was faster, and it was pretty snappy. But the functionality of apps, like the system app, got hang for about 2 to 5 minutes, and then I had to just tweak some settings to make it lighter, and that's all. That's what we needed to do. But still, the performance was not as snappy, and it was like in-app performance was not snappy. The system performance was okay, but while in the Windows 10 it's kind of the opposite, where the system performance is not snappy and the in-app performance is pretty great. And that was the progress till now, I guess. And maybe they will improve, but the stable builds are quite near, and there are rumors coming that here and there that they are pushing ads and all. Well, let's just see in the final product, that can be seen later. So another advantage they had over it was the UI. Well, it is pretty much improved. It's not like that ugly Windows 10 UI which shared its interface a lot like Windows 8, and the Windows 11 UI is pretty glassy and pretty good looking. But yeah, keeping that aside, performance wise, I already discussed it, and yeah, the looks are pretty good. It's aesthetically pleasing and all, and that can be done. Then they have this snapping feature and all, which was basically which makes it feels like Windows 10 with Power Toys. Well, Power Toys is a powerful tool. Well, I will leave the description leave the link in the description below, and you can check it out. It's an awesome tool. It's in the official Microsoft GitHub repository. And then I had WSL. I tried WSL on him. Maybe it was my fault that I couldn't just get it done right. And but I've heard that the WSLG feature there is pretty much nice, pretty much stable, and it gives you a Linux-like experience. But yeah, I won't really shift because it didn't fit my workflow. Well, in Linux, I can do most of the stuff with keyboard in window managers, and there it is like use more mouse, less keyboard, and there are strange keyboard shortcuts, and very limited customizability. And yeah, the settings are ripped off. You can't just right click on the taskbar and give many options. I couldn't even move the taskbar here and there, and that was pretty much irritating for an modern OS, because you should have the customizability features. But yeah, one thing they again did good was remove the Cortana, which was kind of like a spy, and I believe they did it for good, because really virtual assistants in these OSs, these desktop PCs, I don't think anyone uses them, because most are on the phone, most are on Android or iOS, and that's why. Even so, some companies wide use it for spying, but you can't always trust because it's just proprietary code base. And yeah, they did this thing good, and they even improved the user experience, the settings, apps, and all. Unfunctionality is there, but still, you just get refreshed by looking at it, and it was pretty nice. But for me, it doesn't really work again, because I'm about to I feel like I'm sharing another world. In Linux it's another world. I can't be a power user. I can't really do stuff on my own way. And working with terminal and all, it's just a disaster. PowerShell and all, and that's pretty bad thing. But yeah, they have their own system, they have their own workflow, and if you want, you can choose it. Now you can go there, but if you have good specs, I would recommend you to stay on Windows 10, install PowerToys and all to get those features, and wait for its extra stable release. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, when it becomes a little bit mature, it becomes stable. I'm not talking about the October 5 release. That's just the public stable release that they call stable, but the public opinion matters. So let it grow a bit, and then you can shift. And that was it for this video. I shared my experience. If you tried it, then you can also share your experience. And goodbye. This was it for the video.